Good evening, Mad Reds. Welcome to the show. A bit of a twist on this one here today. I don't usually have anyone on with me in any match previews, but we missed him on Sunday. We missed him and Tim on Sunday. We missed our Sunday show because we were getting our asses handed to us by Chelsea. Not too far away from you, my friend, that neck of the woods. And moving on into this week, no time to sulk. We're on to another one of your little rivals and someone of your... quite a lot of your mates are, I'm guessing, West Ham, Chelsea fans, and you probably got more abuse than a lot of us Reds over the weekend, I'm guessing. But how are you, first of all, mate? Did you miss us?
Yeah, I did. I missed Sunday. It felt a bit empty, to be honest, especially after getting our asses handed to us.
Oh, mate, I know.
Said, man, it was depressing, but I drowned my sorrows and woke up sore Monday. So that's it.
It's even sorer when you've had a bad defeat as well, isn't it? It's just horrible.
It really is.
It is. Quickly, obviously, everyone's heard my reaction to the game and my thoughts on certain performances. Just wanted to get your sighters on it, mate. Really, how did you? I mean, for me, it all went downhill when I seen the starting lineup and the formation. I mean, was it all down to mistakes, or was we up for an hiding from that setup from the word goal, mate?
No, I looked at the formation and look, the 3-5-2 has worked against Chelsea in the past, but Lampard obviously knew what he was coming up against there. And I seen James in the lineup. I said to you about James, I think he's at best a squad player, and he proved that. He was non-existent. I don't think Rashford plays well in a two. I just didn't think the lineup was good from the start. We give Ollie credit when he's done well, but we have to flag him up when he's made a few mistakes, and he has. And we didn't look threatening at all throughout the game. We were just atrocious. It was horrific, man. I was here watching it with a few Chelsea fans as well. That was the fucking worst bit about it. Jesus Christ. Oh
man, I don't envy that position at all, mate. It's bad enough when I'm watching the derbies with my City mates. And then, I mean, next season now, obviously, the weekend all started off with another rival of ours getting back into the Premier League. So there's no real time. There's no real time to waste. We need to be in that Champions League. We should be making moves in the transfer window now, preparing for next season. But it all comes down to, and all pretty much falls into insignificance if nothing happens this week in terms of performance from the boys, mate. And first up, we know what's coming on Sunday, but West Ham need to be put to bed and need to be put to bed big for me. I feel we can put the Champions League to bed with a big win against West Ham, and that's what we should be aiming for. I hate United having to go into a game knowing that a draw is okay, because we don't seem to be able to play in a way, one that fills me with confidence and one that makes me think that we can actually get through with a simple draw. We just don't do it. If we're playing for a win, it's good, but for me, a draw is no good tomorrow against West Ham. I'm thinking a big win is what's needed, maybe 3 or 4 goals. So Leicester at least have to beat us by 2 clear goals to actually overtake us, even if we lose. I just think that's the way we should be going forward. Are you sort of in, let's go out and get a reaction and smash them, or are you a bit scared, having seen how we played on Sunday, mate, thinking, let's just try and get a win and get 3 points clear and then go out and do the same against Leicester? I mean, is there a chance tomorrow night for us to actually make it even harder, like I said, for Leicester? Or just get the win in the bag and move on to Sunday and win another game?
I think, look, the way we should be looking at it is that we have a possibility of finishing the season third. We have a massive possibility of that. If we win tomorrow night, Chelsea, slip up, even a draw against Liverpool, we go ahead and we go into third position on the final day, and we should be getting that position. If it's available to us, we should be getting it. But I am nervous because West Ham, I heard a lad saying it's the truest statement ever, the most inconsistent side. They could, do you remember, is it a season ago, when they turned us over, Arnautovic had the game of his life. They were 3-0 up in the first half. They can turn up and do that, and then it could just be the easiest 4-0 of your life. And them being safe makes me think that it could be one of those games where we could just walk it. But the thing that I'm worried about is that Moyes will really want to go for it. And Antonio, I know Moyes is not. I'm not saying that Moyes is a messiah and that he's going to pull off something. But I think Antonio, the way he's been playing, he scored more goals in the lockdown period than he has for the rest of the season. And he is literally what is kryptonite to our 2 centre halves. A big bully of a centre forward. I think he could tear Maguire and Lindelof apart, and that's what I'm genuinely nervous about now.
Yeah, that's it. Just to answer a quick question there, I literally emptied the fridge watching that Chelsea game, fellas. I got nothing left. I needed all of them just to try and get through that game. That's where they've all gone, Kobe, mate. Just so you get that one out there. Yeah, it's
We've
on
got nothing left like Ian Beale, mate. That's what we got.
Dying coke, mate. Now, God. Right, anyway. So I understand the inconsistency of West Ham. I'm thinking now they're in a little bit of good form. Is that going to bring the inconsistency in? Are they due that stupid little slip up that they get? We shouldn't even be talking about West Ham and what they can do. To be honest, they shouldn't even be. They shouldn't even be brought up in the conversation of what's important and what's left in this season, especially for us. I mean, we just need to go into the game and just blow West Ham out of the water, in my opinion. But we have major concerns now, I feel. I mean, looking at the game, I know it's only one game, but one game, and there's a few people in the comments talking about it already. And obviously, the main name of all, I mean, it was a shocker, mate. David De Gea on Sunday basically filled me with zero confidence. And the defence is coming in for a lot of stick, mate. When you've got a keeper like that behind you, you're naturally going to feel uncomfortable about everything. And for me, I've got no confidence in him at all. I really haven't at the moment. And I'm not saying get rid of him. I don't think there'd be any elite clubs looking for him, to be honest.
Not on the wages that he's on.
No.
Definitely not.
I mean, can we act like a big club and drop De Gea to the bench, even on them wages, just to teach him a lesson? Is that something you would think about for this game? Or would you not chance it right at the end now? But is it even a chance playing De Gea now?
I mean, it's a tricky one because I feel like we all love De Gea and what he's done and he's achieved, and he's won the Player of the Year award so many times. But he's now eating into that, to all the good stuff he's done for the club. He's eating into it because I think he's made more. No goalkeeper has made more errors than him in the Premier League over the last 2 years. And he's just, I don't want to see his legacy completely tarnished at United because he has, a bad season or two. And I think with sportsmen, it is like, an invaluable thing is to know when to step aside. And for this game, you're saying like, I can't see him being dropped because he's made these mistakes before and he hasn't been dropped. And I don't see Ollie doing it with 2 games to go. Ollie is, has got the balls to do it. I wouldn't say, that Ollie wouldn't do it himself, but I think just off previous precedent, I don't think he will do it. But I think bringing in Romero, I mean, what if then Romero makes a mistake? It swings around about,
It's a hard one, isn't it? I know, but for me right now, I can think off the top of my head and fill one hand up of mistakes he's let us down with and probably cost us already being safe in the top 4 right now. So that being said, I think we should drop him and bring Romero in. That's just my shout and my opinion. I'm not being harsh, but I just think
a lot of fans share that opinion, and it is a genuine consideration. I've seen it all over Instagram today that Ollie it will possibly drop him, but I don't know. I feel like it's just too late in the day to do it, and I think you should just stick with him and then bring in Romero for the Europa League, I think.
Yeah, quick super chat there from Aidan Lynch. Cheers. But hey guys, do you think Ollie has inherited a tougher job than Klopp? I think someone replied to you in the comments there as well, Aidan, mate. The United job is the toughest job in the world. I would say probably behind Real Madrid because you just don't get any time at all in these jobs. I was saying that though. I think Watford's a tough job, isn't it?
That is so hard for Pearson, man.
You can. He had a massive fallout, mate. Rumours from what I've been listening to and what I've heard, he's had a massive bust up, and there is a certain way that they hierarchy at that club like the club to be run. There's a head coach, a manager, style person, sporting director, and the owner, and the head coach, manager / whatever you want to call it these days. Comes down that order, and if you open your mouth, it's quite clear it's not going to happen.
They're mad Italians, though, aren't they? They own they own Udinese and a couple of Watford seem to do that anyway. Just
they do, mate.
They've been owned by crazy, about 20 odd managers.
Crazy. That there's no tougher job with expectations than the jobs like United, the Real Madrid, Barcelona's. I mean, if you've even Bayern Munich, you would say, because you're under scrutiny all the time. It's like Liverpool hadn't won anything for years, and Klopp came in with a clean slate, really. I mean, he came in there with no expectations straight away, whereas United need European football. United, the money they've spent, need to be winning trophies. We just blew one. This week will determine, I think, whether we get Champions League football, and then going into the week after, the Europa League's the only trophy we've got left to play for. But I don't want the Europa League to be the get out of jail card for us. I want it to be a bit of icing on the cake after we finish third in the league, like you said, Owen, mate. So, I mean, the Europa League's a conversation to have after all this football is finished. But for me, it's just there, and I just... You know what? The only thing, well, not the only thing, but the one thing I do not like about Ollie is the way he talks around things. I could see him saying, look, we got a draw. We draw with West Ham tomorrow. And I can see him saying, well, we're into top 4 now. It's in our hands. Yeah, I know this. I can already preempt what he's going to say. And it's so annoying. I just want him to go out there, put the right team out. I think we've got to go back to the original formation. We've got to go back to the 3 up top with Bruno, Matic and Pogba, and whatever defence is available to us at the moment, because we're just being taken out. Do you think
Matic will start, though? Because I think Matic looked shot to bits against Chelsea. Like, I think
he was, mate. He was knackered. He does. I mean, shot to bits, and he didn't even play a full game against Palace, mate. So, I mean, I was disappointed in Matic yesterday, Sunday. Was it Sunday, Saturday? When did we play now? Sunday, yeah. Oh, my days are gone, mate. Is it Tuesday today, isn't it?
Yeah, it is Tuesday, yeah.
Wow, Adam, sort your head out. But no, I just feel I've seen Matic there, and I'm thinking, why is he so tired? He's not played. He played about 15 minutes against Palace, and he just looked shot from the start. It wasn't like he was tired at the end, like you said, mate. He was shot from the start for me. Overrun, but he does seem to play better when Pogba and Bruno are around. He's got someone to pass to.
Yeah, I mean,
I think the formation let the formation let a lot of our players down. I think on Sunday, and that's where you got to put a lot of it down to. I think, but yeah, I mean, what would your starting lineup be? I mean, would you change it at all? I mean, some people have even said Fosu Mensah's impressed to maybe get a shout in the back line.
I mean, he did play actually quite well. I was so surprised at that. I was never more shocked at anything all season than seeing Fosu Mensah starting left back, and that just says to me that Deleu's gone. Like Deleu is.
I said that, mate.
Deleu can play right or left back, and he couldn't get a game when there's two first choice left backs are gone. So he's definitely out the door, I think. But Timbo did play really well. Well, for a lad that hasn't started a game for 3 years for us, he played really well, I thought. Williams was, at fault for wasn't at fault for the goal. That is De Gea's fault, but he did give the chance away, and maybe I could see that as a possibility. Timbo coming back in at left back. I mean, I think he'd do a job.
I mean, touch there, Jerome T. Green, cheers, mate. Thoughts on the press and the issue for us? I mean, you just talked about Fosu Mensah there. And not only that, someone else has just jumped in there. Cheers for that, Jerome, mate. But just to answer that again, add a little bit more to it there. This is the question now, because that high press that Jerome talked about there is a big issue for us. And Chelsea targeted Wan-Bissaka. And you're talking about Fosu Mensah there. I mean, if Shaw's fit and Brandon plays on the left, I mean, is there actually a shout? And I can't believe I'm saying it. Is there a shout to give Wan-Bissaka a rest? And it is a shout, I know, but he is a concern at the moment, because on the ball, he looks like a bit of a rabbit in the headlights, and they are sort of targeting him now with it.
Yeah, I mean, we've all been concerned about him going forward and being on the ball for since we've signed him. I think we all knew how solid he was defensively, but on the ball and going forward, he has improved. You can see that throughout the season. He's got in there with a few assists. His crossing has gradually improved throughout the year. But on the ball, he does look shaky. And you're right. Bang on. Chelsea targeted him. But he's probably been our player of the season.
I know, yes. I'm not going to deny that. He has been brilliant.
I don't know. I think Chelsea are able to do that, but I don't think West Ham are able to do that, to be able to target him that well down the right-hand side. Personally,
it's like Chelsea So I said it on the day. There's only so many times you can play that formation against someone like Lampard. He's going to figure it out eventually. And that's what they did. They went for it, and they sussed us, mate, didn't they? They pretty much sussed us. I mean, Jerome back again there. Cheers, mate. I remember Zachary's suffering from a lack of right wing. He doesn't have someone to link up with. Usual life often ganged up on. Yeah, I mean, we've seen the issue we had down our left side with Rashford not being able without Shaw, because he's built up a really good rapport with Luke Shaw, I think, down that left side. The formation destroyed Rashford the other day. I didn't agree with Ricky going in on him, completely castrating him. I think Ricky was just sulking because Martial didn't start. But for me...
Martial didn't start. Matic had a bad game. Ricky was just in bad form.
Yeah. But it showed, though, mate. It showed. I mean, you change your system just like that, and it looked like we hadn't really practiced that system at all, because at most of that first half, Bruno was playing as a false nine. So, I mean, there was no link up at all. Never mind, like what Jerome said there. I mean, the link up for Wan-Bissaka down the right-hand side, we do need stability. I think Greenwood does work quite well with Bissaka and was building up a bit of a relationship with him. But then Greenwood went off the boil a little bit in his forward play, rightly dropped out and subbed off in the games where he was playing. But he still looks after the ball a lot better for me, definitely better than Dan James.
Dan James can't look after the ball. Dan James is just a greyhound. He runs out of the traps.
Yeah,
I cannot see a world in which he starts at Man United.
No, mate, no. There's certain players that we need in the summer, and we just mentioned two of the positions there in holding midfield in Matic and right wing or right forward. I mean, I know that Greenwood is doing a good job at the moment, but for me, I mean, I still think he's a number 9. I think he's going to be a great striker because he can go both sides. I mean, yeah, he's playing good on the right at the moment because he can use both feet, and you don't know which way he's going, which is good. But you can imagine that down the middle, and the centre backs, he could choose whichever centre back he wanted to go up against, and then go in at any angle. I mean, it's frightening to think going ahead. It's unfortunate he's coming to a little bit of bad form, but for me, I do think that his best position is going to be fighting Martial for that number 9 spot, which is good. So then all we need is to try and sort a bit of competition out on the right and the left. I just think we're going to be able to only get, maybe for the quality of player we want, maybe 2 players in the summer. But right now, I started to fear, mate, and we'll get onto this now, the back line, the defence at the moment. I could see why people now are actually going into the transfer window thinking, you know what, we've got to maybe prioritise the centre-back. Dear God, mate, I'd never seen a performance like... I mean, Giroud all of a sudden looked like Ibrahimovic.
Giroud looks quality, man.
Battering us, mate.
But as in, that's why I said to you, I'm afraid about tomorrow night, because Mikel Antonio is a similar style of player.
He's quicker though,
and he's a lot. Well, I'm fucking quicker than Giroud, but I mean, like, I think Antonio could cause the same problems. And yeah, as you said, he is quicker, but our defense looks shot to bits. And he's back. Well, he's obviously okay now, but I doubt
he's got a week out protocol on him now, so
yeah,
we won't see him till the end of the season.
And Maguire should have been taken off because he was.
I think so. I mean, we all slept. I mean, he got quite a lot of abuse from Maguire, but I did actually bring up what you just said there. My fan comment said, as soon as I seen him go down again, because this happened to him, I'm sure he got one at Palace as well, didn't he? He was down on the ground a lot for a while at Palace, and I thought, you know what? There's only 2 minutes, and when you've got Eric Bailly nutting you in the side of your temple, then I'd be slightly worried. And then ever since, every minute after that, he just looked absolutely wrecked. He was all over the place. Granted, the midfield didn't let him help him out, but in marking, positioning, passing, everything about his game just went completely to pot. And then you've got someone like Lindelof, who, when the going gets tough, doesn't really stand up next to him. Wan-Bissaka's having the worst form of the season. And you've got Bloodshot Eye Williams, who maybe also shouldn't have been playing alongside you. Add De Gea to that. It's no surprise that was the result.
And Wan-Bissaka getting targeted as well, like he did. I mean, it's just not. It just wasn't good, man. It just wasn't there. And I reckon we could look back at selling Smalling as a mistake. Yeah. Because you were saying before about Koulibaly and Smalling's numbers are quite similar in the Serie A. And if we go and splash 80 million, 90 million on a player, which you've also previously said unproven in the Premier League, might be proven in the Champions League, but he's on a similar level to Smalling in performance in the Serie A this season. So why would you go and spend 80, 90 million on him? And who else do you bring in, man? Who is that elite level centre half that we can bring in? Like Nathan Ake isn't going to do that job. I mean, I think we're going to have to look to the youth. I think Mengi and Axel, like hopefully if he's fit.
That's the scary one, isn't it, mate? Anyway, we're not all on the negatives on this one. We know we've had a few. We've had a blip, but let's not forget 19 games unbeaten. We're still unbeaten in the league. Second half of the season, people, as well. I've mentioned this a couple of times. Second half of the season, we're third in that table. 4 points behind Liverpool. Scored more than them, conceded less than them. That's 4 points. That's half a season. It's not like it's 5 or 6 games and you're getting carried away. That's half a season. And if we win both our games now, that's 40 points for the second half of the season. If you can sort of get anywhere near that for the first half and actually start like we finished, then that's comfortable top 4. Add some quality players to that, it's a different ball game. But just going to go on to what Jeromet has mentioned there. Cheers again, mate. But the resurgence of Martial, we obviously missed Martial on Sunday, and there was never a clearer game or a poor formation to actually state that, because Martial hold-up play, I think, probably is the best that we've got alongside Ighalo, but he just offers that bit of a turn of pace where Ighalo hasn't got that. But for me, that forward line, as a 2, we had a winger. We had 2 wingers, in my opinion, playing as 2 forward players, mate.
Pretty much.
If you're going to play 2, you've got to at least play, for me, Martial. Yeah, I can understand if you're resting him, but maybe a Greenwood or an Ighalo.
I was thinking Greenwood and Ighalo would have been the better shout as the
2 centre forwards, mate. You know what I mean? Not 2 wingers. We had a left winger in Rashford, and people say, yeah, he wants to be a striker. He was a left winger in the youth. He's a left winger now. He'll score loads of goals from that side. Leave him alone there. Don't put him in the middle. Martial is the one in the middle for us. And we're needing our players to step up, mate. Him and Rashford have probably been the ones that have stepped up over the last 2 weeks for us. And we're going to need Martial, and we're going to need Rashford alongside him for us on Wednesday, tomorrow night against West Ham, mate. Martial is key, I think, and massively missed. I mean, he got the penalty yesterday, and maybe should have got that free kick on the edge and got Zuma. I wouldn't have been red carded, would he? But I still think it was a foul.
That was definitely a foul. I don't understand how he didn't give that.
That's crazy. I thought that as well.
Given? I think what was the thing? It was 22 fouls were committed before Pogba get a yellow card.
Yeah, they absolutely battered us. I mean, I thought Azpilicueta's tackle, you could see it in his face on Bruno. Bruno was getting battered from pillar to post, and the ref was having none of it.
We were shocking. Like that's by the by, but the ref did have a shocking game. Mike Dean is horrendous. And Mike Dean, literally, everyone always says this. It's always about Mike Dean. Whenever he refs a game, it's the Mike Dean show. It's nothing to do with the football on the pitch or how beautiful it can be. It is the Mike Dean show. It's literally always the case whenever he refs a match.
It is. It's an absolute joke. I think Jerome's personally paying my wage this week, mate. That's what he's doing. Love it, mate. Thank you. All your support in the channel is absolutely phenomenal, everyone. So thanks again for all the comments, not just the super chats, but super chatters. You're absolutely amazing. Maybe someone like Dunk or Tarkovsky as centre back. My family actually know Tarkovsky. He's actually lad, but we're worried, aren't we, about that caliber of player. There's a reason that these players are playing where they are, in my opinion. That's just how I see it. Especially with the centre-backs. You can see the ones that are going to make it. I mean, people are even bringing up Mings. I'm like, just go and give your head a wobble. Like,
Mings is so overrated. How he's getting in the England team, I do not understand.
It's mental, mate. But for me, I don't see Tarkovsky or Dunk being the answer. The speed is what I think. It's always been mentioned. Maguire will be fine. He will be fine. You know what I mean? It's been a crazy first season. The captaincy, everything. You know, we had a lot to deal with in the first season at Man United for Maguire, and he'll be fine, I think. Yeah. Next season, second season, settled in properly. We just need to find that speed next to Maguire for me. That is going to be key. And then again, do we go and blow all that?
But I think it can be Bailly if he stays fit. And then I think I'd have Bailly over Lindelof. And you're a fan of Lindelof, reckless. But I'm not a fan of him.
I mean, I'm not a massive fan of him. I appreciate what he does, but I don't see him as the answer going forward. I don't think we're going to get near City or Liverpool with Lindelof in the team.
No, I don't think that either. But I would say Bailly over Lindelof.
Do you think Bailly's a bit rash? He just looks like an headless chicken, mate. He looks like he's going on that pitch to hurt someone. He just got that look in his eye, hasn't he? He's like, kill.
That's why I like him.
I'm going to take. I know that. I'm all for the hard tackling, but I want someone to actually. I mean, who do you blame for that? I think Maguire's got to take the blame for headbutting him, to be honest, because that was Maguire. That was Bailly's ball. I think Maguire's at fault for him actually being sparkled because if you're going to head
him slabhead for nothing, did I?
Exactly. If you're gonna headbutt a player in our team, I don't think I'd go for Maguire. Like you said, the slabhead title says it all, and inevitably he's come off with. Not laughing. I'm only joking about that because he's tweeted and Instagrammed out that he's better and he's thanked everyone. So I'm happy that Bailly's back, and maybe we'll see him in the Europa League. I think the protocol has killed him for the week though, and he can't play again now. So, Man United training kit came today. It's really nice. Well, I've not seen this. Has anyone?
No, it's not the brand new. Oh, I've got the one from this season. It's actually really nice.
Oh yeah, anyone send me a picture, Aidan, mate. You've got my socials, mate. I've not even seen that one yet. I've just ordered in the middle of ordering myself some retro United gear actually. So I'm not keen on the new shirts. I mean, I like the off green one. I'm not keen on the red one.
This is the black and orange one. I like this one.
Yeah, that's that one. The black one never fails me, to be honest.
You can't have a bad black jersey, can you?
No, you can't. It's simple, isn't it? And the orange is a nice touch. I like that.
Sure.
But
I just when we won the FA Cup a few years ago with Van Gaal, that one. It was black and orange as well.
Oh, yeah, a few years ago. We won that when we were playing in white on that day against Palace, though.
Yeah, we played in white, but with that year we had a black and orange.
Oh, that was Luke Shaw's leg break.
Yeah.
That kit, wasn't it?
I forgot that one.
Oh, wow. Oh. Yeah, Toonza Bay can be the guy, Jerome says. Well,
if he stays
if
fit.
He's fit. Yeah. I mean, I remember going to Southampton and was right down at the side of the pitch and I was seeing him warm up. The guy's a unit. For his age, the guy is a unit and he's got all the attributes to be a top centre-back. And you know what? I'd like to see him get a chance. And again, it's like Bailly, innit? You want him to have a string of games and then bang, there's an injury. And you're like, oh. And then you've got steady Eddies, Lindelof, Maguire never seems to get injured. Maguire's awesome for injuries. You can't say anything against him in his injury record. He's played more games than anyone, hasn't he, this season?
Isn't he playing? Someone was saying isn't he playing with injections?
I don't know, mate.
I was hearing that he's playing with it. I heard he was playing with injections, which I think is mad dangerous when players do that because it just takes a year off their career pretty much.
Well, it's a case of what's the name, innit? It's like Rashford apparently was playing. He was playing under injury, and eventually it catches up with you, and it's only going to get worse, isn't it? Because you're out for even longer period. You nailed it in one, mate. Thomas Nassari there says we need fast, agile centre back to cover Maguire to help partnership like Vidic and Ferdinand, Upamecano and Ake, or even Toonza Bay again. Ake, Toonza Bay again. I mean, we
need to get rid of all of the
Ake, mate. I'm not for Ake, mate. I just don't see it in him. I don't see what. I understand, but again, that's why he's at Bournemouth.
But apparently he's going City. That broke today. I read
what are they going to pay for him?
It went mad all over Twitter, and then it just went mad on Twitter and Instagram today. Ake to City for 35 million. which, I mean, the last time City did that was Mangala. So good luck to him, is all I say.
Well, that's it, isn't it? I mean, I don't see him fitting in at City. I mean, he'd probably be a good sort of player to come in. I'd say, is he better than Stones and Otamendi?
He's better than Otamendi. Otamendi's a terrible defender.
That's not a bad
Otamendi
move,
is
then.
robbing a living. How that man is a starting centre-back for a top Premier League side, I do not understand. He's robbing a living.
Yeah. Let me see. A few people asking to be moderators as well. I'll have to get into that, people. I will try and start something out in terms of moderators because we are getting more and more live viewers now. So I will think about that. So everyone, just drop your details when this video goes up on YouTube in a bit when it goes on. And then I'll take a look at that. Let's just see. Drone again, mate. You haven't just smashing, absolutely destroying it tonight, mate. Super chat king, this guy. Anyway, nope. Appreciated all the way, mate. Anyone who drops super chats, massive respect all the time.
Jerome, mate, you paid for the case of Corona.
Yeah, that's it. Coronas are out again now. That's it. That is definitely it. But obviously, there's other news going around with United at the moment. We've seen Chelsea obviously looking like Kai Havertz is pretty much nailed down now. My issue at the moment is if we are actually really in for Jadon Sancho, who's now jetted off onto his holidays, by the way. So obviously that's nowhere near done. Why are we not already sorting these deals out like Chelsea have? German league's finished.
That's
been finished for 3 weeks. I just don't understand it. I just can't figure it out.
It's just not how we work as a club.
I'm not particularly too fussed in terms of what Chelsea are doing in the forward line. They're already a dangerous forward line with the likes of Jorginho, Pulisic. They've got some good players going forward. Their defence, if they don't sort the defence out, then I don't really care who they bring up front because that's where they're going to come unstuck. They're another team who's just ignoring the defensive issues that they've got. But, I mean, there's a few names being brandished around. I mean, our kid mentioned something to me today, actually, mate. I don't get your thoughts and everyone else's thoughts on it. We're looking for a new sort of holding midfielder. N'Golo Kante was a name that came up as a little steal.
Mate, I'd love it. I'd absolutely adore it.
I don't think he's not having Chelsea, is he? He's really not.
I can't see Chelsea letting him go to us, man.
I mean, if he wants out, he's gone, innit? They need to make room, and the way they're working, mate, and the players they're bringing in.
Imagine Kante, Pogba, and Bruno as a midfield. Oh, mate. Oh, that'd be so beautiful to watch. That'd be absolutely amazing.
I mean, I didn't think about it before, but my immediate thought when he said to me, and I probably wasn't paying full attention at the time, was, yeah, it's not happening. Never. I'm then thinking, how old is he? And I'm thinking, holding midfielder.
He's 29,
even if he's late 20s, going on 30, you still got a good 3 or 4 years in there for a holding midfielder. And you know what? Maybe that's one to actually think about.
I just cannot see a world, ads, where they are looking to strengthen to go for a title, and they have what is considered the best holding midfielder in the world, and letting him go to a potential title rival. I cannot see that.
He's not had the best. You think he's not had the best of seasons, though, has he? To be fair, and
Zakaria, Jeromet, Zakaria did it.
I mean, it's like everything's happening from Germany at the moment. But to go back to Kante again, I mean, he's still. You know what? I've never seen such a small guy be so strong. I've really not. But like you said, then that link up between Pogba and Kante, that was something to actually.
That was beautiful, man. Imagine that, mate.
Yeah, I mean, Bundesliga, like you said, Jerome, mate. I mean, Zakaria, I know. My issue is, you know what? I've got this fear now of United and players that we don't know about, unproven players. It just seems to me that I remember Ollie was talking about Bruno the other day in an interview, and he said we scouted him for months on end to make sure he had the right sort of attributes that we need. And I'm not going to slag Ollie off for his signings at all. So if he knows who he wants and he wants to make 100% certain, you know what? I've got to accept that now. I know I'm moaning about us not getting like things moving already, but how many times have Chelsea done this? They've gone and jumped the gun, brought these players in, and then crashed and burned. All these quick moves are good and all and well, but it never works for us. It never works for us. I mean, for me, I've got an issue with Fred at the moment. I just don't see how he fits into the team. I really don't. And I like Fred. He was one of our best players this season. And I just don't see how he fits in. I don't know what he does anymore, mate. I don't know what he does.
I'm banging. I completely agree with you there. I think you're bang on, to be honest, because anytime he's come off the bench, he's just not looked he doesn't look like he's part of that midfield. He just looks like he's just there to make up the numbers, sort of thing. It doesn't look like he's come on and doing a job. Oh yes, mate, Thomas Nassari. I would absolutely take Thiago off Bayern's hands, 110%. I think we all would, mate.
That's another one of our cock-ups from Moisey, that one, wasn't it? We should have had that deal nailed down with him. He's an idiot for that.
Well, the worst one down. Van Gaal, we had Tony Cruz literally signed up, ready to sign a contract, and he said he wasn't good enough.
Bollocks. Yeah, absolute bollocks. I'm going to throw 3 names at you here. And again, the Kante was a bit of a swerve ball, but I'm going to throw these at, and I want everyone's views in the comments as well. Granted, probably won't happen because they're all from the same club. But for me, I just feel like this club have got all 3 positions covered that we need. And that being certain Wolverhampton Wanderers. And I'm just going to throw the 3 names out at you there. I'm going to go Ruben Neves, Adama Traore, and Raul Jimenez up front. I know his age. I do understand that. But the other 2, we spoke about Jimenez before. I know, mate. I'll get everyone else's opinions on him. I think and I rate Ruben Neves as a quality player. I've been up close and watched how many times we play Wolves in a season or 2. And this guy, he's got a tackle in him and he's absolute quality on the ball. I know Martinho does a lot of the work for him. And he's the unsung hero in that team for me. He's a little maestro, that guy. But Neves, I'm thinking of that. You know that. What's the game? Is it that FIFA card game? I'm an old school person. You know when you got to link up the countries. Yeah, I'm thinking Bruno.
No. You're thinking of Ultimate Team.
That's it, isn't it? Yeah. I'm thinking Bruno linking up with Neves. I'm thinking of the Portuguese connection. And you know what? I love him, mate. I don't know what people think. I just think there's a quality player in there. And I like Traore as well. I really do. Because I'm looking at the assist that guy's got for Jimenez this season, how much he's improved his game. And there's a right-sided attacker who would absolutely put the fear of God into anyone in that Champions League. I think he's lost at Wolves because I'm not seeing him get into the Champions League unless they win the Europa League, which is one way in, you could say. But I think them players are definitely, like you said, there's a full-on squad. I don't see an issue with that. I just don't think we'll be able to get them. But we're looking at players that are going to come into the positions we need. I mean, Owen, where do you see any of them, mate?
I mean, it's wishful thinking if anyone thinks we're going to get all 3 of them. But I mean,
yeah, I know.
I mean, we might as well buy that club if we're going to buy all 3 of them. The same amount.
Hey, mate, Liverpool did it with Southampton.
Pretty much. But I like Jimenez, and I like him as an option. And I don't know about bringing him in the summer, but I think as an option in January to try and bring in, I think his contract's wound down a bit more then. And when Igalo's leaving, going back to China on loan to get all his readies, that'd be a good option, and it'd be a massive boost to the squad to bring in Jimenez. Neves, I think, has had a poor season this year, to be fair, compared to last year. He's played all right in parts, but for the season as a whole, he's not playing.
Mate, if you score that many screamers in one season, it's going to be a definite downturn the next season.
It's obviously
isn't it?
going to be a downturn. But in terms of his play, I think, and you are right there. I think Moutinho is a bit of an unsung hero. He does a lot of the work for him.
Oh, that guy is for the age he came in at. You're thinking he was finished, but
he's 34.
They've used 17 players all season for every competition.
Is that it?
That's it. That's a fact that came out today. Ricky tweeted that out today, actually. And I knew they'd not used a lot. And I always said there's no excuse for anyone in the Premier League.
More than 17.
No, mate.
John Ruddy's come in for cup games. They've definitely
17. That defence hasn't moved.
Oh, true.
Don't change the keeper.
Doherty,
and like you said, Neves, Moutinho, look at the amount of games they've played this season.
Yeah.
They just don't. All you ever see is like Johnny for Jota, simple little changes all the time. And you know what? You can see that's what happens when you've got a settled team. But I tell you what, whatever water they're drinking down in Wolves, United need to drink some of that because they don't get injuries. I don't know what it is. They do not get injuries.
I mean, you've been to Wolves, Adam? It's not a place. It's not a place you want to stay for very long.
No, it's not, mate. The surrounding area is. I'm not even going to go into it in case there's any of them there. But quickly there in the super chat below you, mate. Your neck of the woods. Would you take any of them three that Jerome's just brought up from West Ham?
Nope.
None.
I mean,
I know why you're not. Having
Rice. I'm not having Rice.
Yeah, I know that, mate.
Diop. I think Diop's not a bad player. He's a decent centre half, and I think he's got a lot of promise. But I think we've got promising centre backs ourselves, so I don't think there's a reason to bring him in. I wouldn't be mad on that. And Antonio, look, he'll have the odd flurry of goals every once in a while. We've scored 4 against Norwich, but he's not a consistent player for me. And
I'm looking at Antonio as another one of them. Antonio is, if I'm thinking right, one of them. Because I don't follow much of West Ham, but that guy's got an injury waiting to happen every other week, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's pretty injury prone.
Yeah, I just don't want any of them players.
That's a good free there, mate. But
cracking free, but it's dreamland that one, Lille United, mate. I just feel, I think Sancho would take up all our money. That's what I feel if we went for him.
How though? It's like. We're the second biggest like sporting brand behind the New York Yankees. How the hell do we not have enough money? It doesn't make any sense.
What they want to spend it on, isn't it? It's ridiculous.
You've been up to the club shop on a non-match day. It's full. It's busloads of tourists going in there.
We are bringing in Brewsters, absolute Brewsters.
There's Scandinavian, Chinese, German. There's everyone from all over the world there. Tour groups. How that club doesn't have enough. Says that they don't have enough money to spend it sufficiently. I just don't understand.
Sancho, I take it you mean 35? Yes. All right, I got you. Yeah. So you're saying you got big money on Sancho, but you could sort of minimise the group sort of buys for the summer by 35 million for Van der Beek. That seems really cheap, doesn't it, for Van der Beek, if that's the money? People are talking...
If we can get 35 for Van der Beek, then I'd snap the hands up.
Yeah, you just don't even turn that down. You never look a gift horse in the mouth, do you? I mean, that's just no-brainer. Grealish, Sancho, Diaz, thoughts. I know it probably won't happen, but I wish.
Which Diaz?
Diaz from the centre-back from... is it Benfica he's at? I'm sure
yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking that one. I don't know. I'm scared about defenders now.
I don't trust a defender that ain't coming out of the Premier League, to be honest, at the moment.
I know it sounds snobbish. It's not.
It sounds like very Brexit FC, but
No, I know exactly what you mean there. I know the feeling, and it's not being snobbish. It's just that we've tried this before, haven't we? I mean, it's took Lindelof 3 seasons to get to the average sort of level he's at now. He's had certain spurts where he's looked really good, but we've seen on Sunday against a player that isn't even quick, and he got out sprinted by him. And you know what? It's I don't know. I don't know what
Grealish though is that it's done.
Sorry,
there's talk that Grealish is just done. Like,
yeah, I
Villa
know.
goes out,
I've been hearing that one for months, mate.
City are up 4-0
really have.
as well. So
I'm trying to think now. I would take Adama, Ndidi, and Grealish. There's your Premier League one right there, Chris, mate.
I mean, I think we'd all take it, but Ndidi, you ain't getting Ndidi out of Leicester.
Nah.
Adama, to get him out of Wolves, you're going to have to be paying 70, 80 mil at least.
Yeah. I think out of all of them, the realistic one is probably Grealish. Simply because I feel like, you know what, it's one of them, innit? He's going to be going down unless they beat Arsenal tonight, because I don't see Watford picking up any more points.
Yeah, they're playing Arsenal away on the last day.
Yeah, so I mean, Arsenal have got a big say in this relegation fight, haven't they? Jeez.
Pretty much, yeah.
But nah, I just don't see it. I really don't. They said 170 for Adama. TKF kids say, yeah, 170. He got it's cuckoo land. Cuckoo land.
That's probably half the value of the whole of Wolverhampton.
Yeah, that's what they paid to fix the whole stadium up. So you know what I mean. Nah, I mean,
no player's worth that unless they are, in the top 3 in the world.
Van der Beek is way better than Grealish. United should be smart this time. Van der Beek's clever, but he doesn't play the Grealish role for me. He sits a bit deeper and controls the game. Yeah. A lot of people have said that, Jeromet. I'm not. A lot of people have said that Blins was that ball-playing sort of holding midfielder that could run a game, but I don't know. I just feel like we could never. I hate utility players. That's my ultimate bugbear. Players who can play in a few different positions.
What about John O'Shea? Legend.
Despise it. No, I mean, John O'Shea is a left back. He's a left back. Legend,
John O'Shea played centre back, man, for the majority.
I know he did. He played in bleeding goal, mate. Well, jack of all trades, master of none. You know what I mean? It's a reason why.
Master centre back, dude. Take that back. He was a master centre half.
No, John, he was better at left back for me, John O'Shea. I'm not taking anything away from him. I just don't like the players that can play all over. I just prefer position players, mate. It's just the way I am, and I just feel like, you know what? It was talking about. It was Blind, wasn't it? And that's what he seemed to be. We could never find the right position.
When he came in, he was a left back. Then he became centre. Then he went to defensive mid. Then he became centre half. He said the centre half was his position. Then he changed to left back. Like, he just kept.
Rooney didn't play. Rooney played at right back against Barcelona. That was it. He just sacrificed himself for the team. We know what Rooney is. You don't become top scorer of all time for United if you play all over the place. But I know what you mean, Alien, mate. But yeah, I just don't like the idea of buying someone because he can play a few positions. It means you're copping out of going for someone who definitely is going to improve that position for me. That's just the way I see it. I mean, it's like going out buying a holding midfield player and then pushing him back into defence like Mourinho did with McTominay. Nah, not for me. He already tried doing it this year with what's the name? With Dyer, didn't he, at Spurs? Nah, not for me at all.
Dyer did start out as a centre half, so I see where he went with that. But when he bought McTominay on as a centre half against West Ham, that was on.
He played bleeding Martial pretty much at right back against West Ham 2 seasons back. He's just, oh man. Anyway, he did us a favourite weekend, so I'm not going to slag him off too much. We can't really. I know. Right, let's finish up with this game tomorrow. Give me your back four, mate. We're going with a back four. Don't be afraid to go crazy on this.
Over back four. I'm going to go a bit crazy, but not mental, because we have sort of discussed it. I'm going to go with Aaron Wan-Bissaka at right back. I'm going to have Maguire. I was going to say someone else, but there's no one else to come in, so it's going to have to be Maguire. And then at left back, Timbo, I think.
Timbo?
Yeah, I'm going to go mad and say Timbo at left back.
Fair enough.
Midfield 3, I'm going to have McTominay, Pogba and Bruno.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah, because... Well, I'm a big fan of old Scotty Mac, but it's also because I think Matic just looks shot to bits, and I don't think he's fit enough to play. And then obviously the front three, the legendary MMM, Mason, Marcus, Marshall, and I think that team is pretty good and pretty solid, and it should be good enough to beat West Ham.
Yeah, it's what's the name for me? I feel like just going to answer this guy. He's always on at me. Yeah, yes. Why are you calling the players bottlers? What you call this coaching staff? 2 years and no style of play. Too busy watching Saeed. Yeah, when you go onto a pitch and you can't pass a ball 5 yards, that's not your coaching staff. You know what I mean? When you give balls away and make mistakes like we did on Sunday, that ain't coaching stuff. You can slug off the formation all you want, mate, but you can't.
It's been a clear style of play for at least the last 15 games.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm looking at they've got quality and potential, this team, but mentality is my big thing, and that's where you can start bottling it, because it's one of them, innit? We've seen, like I said, a full half a season, and we're unbeaten near enough. We lost the 2 games, and that was the Liverpool and Burnley game. Everything else, we're pretty much third in the league for the last half of the season. So this team has got something. I'm not saying that, but when you haven't got that winning mentality, and you can actually bottle it, you really can bottle it. So that's where I'm going with that one. It's that. Anyway, back to the team. I'm going to go pretty much exactly the same as you, starting from the front three. MMA,
mate.
I know. I'm too busy watching UFC. Rashford, Greenwood, Martial, obviously. Bruno, Pogba. I am going to put Matic in there. I just feel like he plays better with them too. I want to see him make up for what his poor performance was. I understand the Scott shout, though. I do get that. I'm thinking energy for this game. The back four, yet. I mean, there's no word from Shaw yet. So I'm going to give Williams another chance because Shaw's not in. And then it's the other 3 again. I can't drop Bazaka, even though I mentioned it before. He's had too good a season. And I think he'll be chomping at the bit to get involved in this one. And then I'd put Romero in goal. I really would. I just feel like he's going to command his box. And I don't see an ultimate threat from West Ham, but a mistake from us could be where West Ham take this game away. I just don't see as many mistakes in Romero, and I just feel like he will give the defence a little bit more confidence. So that's it. That's my shout. Score prediction, Owen, mate, now. Everyone get your score predictions in as well in the comment section.
I'm going to go, it's going to be a bit nervy, but I'm going to say we're going to win 3-1. I'm going to say one from each of the ends.
Ooh, nice. I like that. I'd take that, but I'm going to go 3-0. I just think that scoreline then makes it harder for Leicester. They'd need to beat us by 2 clear goals on the last day.
I don't want to win 3-0. I just think Antonio is going to bully Lindelof.
Oh, no, Lindelof's going to have the game of his life. Anyway, I've said it before. I'll say it again before we finish. I will be going all in Rage Monster if they bottle this one. I really will. It's got nothing to do with coaching staff now for me. Yeah, I understand that going forward, but they know what they've got to do in this game. They need to stand up and be counted, the whole team. Because I've said it. I said it on the show last night on the United Stand. I fear for this squad if they don't get top 4. I just don't see us going forward with this squad anymore. Because to get this close and have it handed on a plate or drip fed you, as I said it, that easy, then I just feel like I fear for this team because I don't know how to recover from not getting in the top 4 again. But I'm still confident this team has got something. And tomorrow night, I'm expecting a reaction. So I'm going to go 3-0 for tomorrow night. I just feel like there's going to be too many players out there wanting to prove a point. I really do. And if Ollie's got anything about him, he'll know what David Moyes did to this team, and he'll be geeing these players up, especially after being arse-handed by them back in, when was it? October, September, down in London at the Olympic Stadium. We owe him. And I won't be able to handle seeing David Moyes' face if he gets in the way of this.
Old Trafford, I can't even imagine.
I don't think I'll be able to handle it. I will not be able to handle it. So no, definitely not.
Changed to his old interviews at Old Trafford when he used to look like a fucking rabbit in the headlights.
Mate, I know there was so many pictures I could have put on that thumbnail of him. I didn't want to sort of jump the gun because it'll all backfire on me tomorrow. But
yeah, that's why I didn't post that one. I sent it to the group chat. I didn't post it. Go on,
until it's all over tomorrow. Anyway, people, thanks for everyone tuning in. All the super chats, there's been loads tonight. All comments as usual. Owen, cheers for coming on, mate, on the midweek show. Just give us a shout out to your socials, mate, please, before we shoot off.
Yeah, it's Cotty Red 99 on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all of them. Just check it out. Give us a chance. Sweet, lads.
I never thought for Owen if it goes wrong because he's got a few West Ham mates down there as well. So
West Ham and Chelsea.
Let's not even think about it going wrong. Let's think positive and let's do West Ham.
Yeah.
Yes, let's do them. Anyway, people, cheers for tuning in. As always, catch me tomorrow. United Stand on here. All sorts going on tomorrow. It's a massive, massive night. And I don't think I'm going to be on pins all day tomorrow. I don't know about you lot. But everyone, cheers for coming on. I will see you tomorrow night. Fingers crossed it all goes well. Take it easy. Bye-bye.